I love to talk to doctors who've been in practice for more than 40 years. These veterans have no one to impress, and the only thing they're interested in is results for their patients. Such was my osteopathic friend, Dr. Bill Ellis. Dr. Bill, as we affectionately called him, was in his mid-70s when I started interviewing him for a radio show I did in the 1980s called Hotline to Health. I was so impressed, I asked if he could teach a postgraduate course in nutrition at a local hospital. That was the beginning of an exciting career for me as he mapped out how to read blood chemistries for health instead of disease. I remember two things that he talked about at that seminar which made a major shift in the nutritional companies we used at the time. The first was the use of neonatal glands therapeutically. Dr. Bill asked the question, why would you want to use a gland from an animal that's at the catabolic end of their life cycle versus an animal at its anabolic peak? A neonatal animal. Neonatal refers to an animal from 1 to 3 days old. He went on, consider an adult animal whose kidney has processed hundreds of thousands of gallons of urine in relation to a young animal that's barely used the gland. Or how about a mature liver that's detoxified herbicides like glyphosate, pesticides, as well as the byproducts of antibiotics and immunizations, in contrast to a new liver that has the nucleoproteins for growth and repair intact. His logic was flawless. At the time we were using another company, which is now out of business, frequently patients would report that they felt nauseous when they took some of the glandular products, especially the liver. We just thought that they were detoxifying. Little did we know that harsh chemical solvents like hexane are used to defat adult glands. Adult glands have by their nature more fat than a young animal. It's the fat in the gland that makes it go rancid. Dr. Bill explained how he spent a few days inspecting Biotics research and how they process neonatal glands in-house and how they use a food-grade solvent due to the low concentration of fat in the neonates. I like the concept of having growth factors, amino acids, trace minerals, and vitamins in targeted tissues, so we switched our entire line to Biotics. Interestingly, after switching to Biotics neonatal glands, we never heard another patient complain. Coincidence? I don't think so. Dr. Bill insisted that although vitamins, minerals, even botanicals can feed a gland, sometimes only the gland itself can activate or restart the healing process. He insisted that neonatal glands have nucleoproteins that are necessary for healing. In the early 90s, Biotics sent 3 different neonatal glandular products to be tested by a third party for DNA content. It was commonly misunderstood that protomorphogens, or PMGs, from adult animal glands contain the most DNA. DNA is a marker for nuclear material, including histones and non-histone proteins. When respective tissues were analyzed for DNA, cells from young glands contain a higher ratio of nuclear to cytoplasmic volume as compared to adult glands. In fact, the histological data suggest glandulars from Biotics research contain twice as much nuclear material, DNA, as the corresponding PMG product, evidenced by DNA percentage of both cytosine thymus and cytosine AD adrenal. On this page, I have 3 great resources for you. First, pictures of slides comparing neonatal glands and adult glands. The difference is dramatic. You can see pictures and discussions of thymus, kidney, liver, heart, spleen, and adrenal tissues. Pay attention to the pictures of the 2-year-old heifer on the myocardium. You can see 5 sacs of sarcocystis parasites versus a well-developed neonatal heart free of any abnormalities. You can also see page 4 for further discussion on the DNA method of testing. The second resource, developed by Dr. Ellis over 20 years ago, discusses possible applications for glandular therapy. The third is a rationale for the use of glandular products by Dr. Robert Ronzio. He answers all the technical questions about absorption and mechanisms of action. Other than neonatal glands, Dr. Bill impressed upon me Biotics' use of food as a tableting base instead of inert fillers and binders. Another link to the right highlights Biotics' enzymatically active tablets loaded with antioxidants. Every office has the question either asked directly or indirectly, why should I buy my supplements from you instead of discount houses or online? When you and your staff can confidently articulate the effectiveness of your supplements, your patients will have more confidence in their purchases. The resources here can help you communicate that message. Once patients are convinced that I'm acting in their best interest, they budget their supplements into their lifestyle. Thanks for checking in this week. I look forward to being with you again next Tuesday.